What I want to talk to you about today is the distinction or difference between seeing and observing. There's a huge difference, and that's what a good lawyer should be able to do. I don't know how many of you have ever seen the arrow that's in the Federal Express logo, but the next time a Federal Express truck goes by, look at it. Don't just see it, look at it. Because between the E and the X is a white arrow. It's there. It was there for a purpose. It's to imply either we're in the right direction or we're moving or we're speedy. But many people look at that logo, but they never see it. And an example of that, and the way that works is this. All of us see what we want to see or hear what we want to hear. That's not what a lawyer is doing. What a lawyer is going to understand is how other people may see or hear something. In a DUI video several years ago, there was a young lady who was required to do the one-leg stand. And if we can, I'm going to take a break for just a second. We're going to move the camera and I'm going to have you watch what I do, and I'm going to discuss what happened at that trial. The demonstration I'm ready to give shows the difference between seeing and observing. This is an actual field sobriety test at a DUI stop. What the officer will tell you is to put your 2 feet together, to put your arms to the side, to take whichever leg you're comfortable, lift it approximately 6 inches off the ground, keep it parallel to the ground, look at your toe, and count 1001, 1002, 1003, and so on until the officer tells you to stop. What this young lady did was this. 1001. Now the question is, what did you see? And more importantly, what did you really observe? Because what the officer saw was a person who lost their balance, a sign of impairment. But there are many things you should have observed and what your lawyer should be pointing out to the jury as part of what you just saw. The first thing is, I'm on concrete. Well, the assumption is concrete is level and smooth. It's easy to stand on. However, all concrete, all driveways, all roadways are never 0 degrees. They always have a minimum 5-degree slope. The reason is so that water will run away from the building or water will run off the road. Roads are leaning left to right, right to left. They're crowned from the middle over. They will slant totally to the left or totally to the right. You should be observing that. But what was really critical in this particular trial was that was not a balance test for this young lady. When she put her hands together and put her foot forward, her weight is going this way. If you were standing at the Grand Canyon looking over the edge and you lost your balance, you're going to go where your weight is. She would have fallen into the canyon. And I've watched many of these videos, so I have a little bit of an advantage, but when people lose their balance, they'll put their foot over here or here. What this young lady did was fall backwards. How could you fall backwards if your weight is going forward? What was important was this. I'm going to do this test one more time, but what I want you to look at is my left ankle. And if we can zoom in and focus on my left ankle, you'll see what really happened there. This young lady put her legs together, she lifted 1 foot up, and she fell backwards because her ankle gave way. That, in fact, was a strength test, not a sobriety test. And the example I used to the jury was Kristi Yamaguchi, the Olympic skater. She can jump in the air, do 4 spins, and land backwards on the edge of a razor blade on ice. She has incredibly strong ankles. My mother, by contrast, could never ice skate because she had weak ankles. That's why when you see skates, they're always high up to give you ankle support. And I pointed out to the jury that this young lady's ankle collapsed. And it is impossible, and I will challenge the jury to take your ankle, lay it flat, and try to stand. You will fall backwards every time. The jury then understood, because they didn't just see it, they observed it, that in fact she did not lose her balance. She did not have the strength to support her weight on one ankle. And that's part of a theme, and that's part of combining that with not just seeing, but in fact observing.